We got a post here. It is the top post on World of PvP. I did my routine MMR situation check on checkpvp.fr. Sadly, they no longer show the entire list, but it still puts things into perspective quite well. So what's the situation now, you might ask? So 2,400 plus in EU. In 2v2, there is 110 people that are above 2,400. In 3v3, there is 393 people above 2,400. And in rated Soul Shuffle, there is 1,143. And it shows how many people they're counting. So in twos, they're counting 63,000 people, which is actually, there's a lot of people that play twos. Rated Soul Shuffle is 1,500 CR, which is about 73,000 people. And in 3v3, it's 32,000 people. And this is in Europe. 2,400 in NA, there is... Wait, whoa. That's crazy. There's only 59 people in twos in NA that are above 2,400. It's probably because they're all tired of getting sniped by Dino and Magnus, to be honest. Anytime they get up there, Dino and Magnus queue up. Take them down to Frowntown, you know? 3v3, we got 602 people, which is significantly more, actually, than in Europe. And then Soul Shuffle is about the same in both. So, okay. What does this tell us? Now let's pretend it was the entire player base, which we know it's not. 2v2, top 0.174% of the population is above 2,400. In 3v3, it's the top 1.1%. And in rated Soul Shuffle, it's the top 1.58% in Europe. And in NA, 2,400 is top 0.1%. That's crazy. 3v3 is top 1.6%, and rated Soul Shuffle is top 1.5%. All right, what is the conclusion? Considering the calculations were not done on a complete list, these are highly optimistic numbers. The reality is much worse. As based on the Gauss curve, you can expect there being anywhere between 10 and 50% more players than the sample shows in each bracket. Wow. Reaching 2,400 in EU twos is roughly 7 times harder than in threes and 9 times harder than in shuffle. And in NA, 2,400 twos is roughly 16 times harder than in threes and 15 times harder than in shuffle. Harder? I don't know if I necessarily agree with the word harder. I don't know if I agree with the word harder. Twos could be less competitive. It could be less balanced. Like if you're someone who plays like Demon Hunter Resto Druid, is it harder to get 2,400 in twos? I don't know. I don't think harder is the correct word though. It is very likely that reaching elite in a bracket means you need to be performing better than 99% of the entire player base. And in 2v2, it is as bad as 99.8% of the player base minimum. This begs the question, why are the achievements still connected if the MMR discrepancy is this drastical? If you want to advocate 3v3 formats being harder than 2v2, why share the achievements? And if you wish to advocate the shared achievements, why the disparity? Why not have a percentage-based achievements that would count, let's say, from week 3, instead of having the concrete numerical milestones that are not adaptable with participation, which in turn needs to be manually adjusted with the exception of rank 1. If you establish duelist as top 5%, you would get duelist reward. If at any other point starting on week 3, you hit top 5% participation, this does not include alts. For example, if I myself have 2 characters at duelist and 2 characters at rival and twos. Yeah. I mean, this is the same old story, right? I've made countless videos on this. The current system makes no sense because it assumes a lot of things. Like with certain achievements being like static numbers, like especially with how they've manipulated and I want to say messed up inflation, it just becomes really, really weird where, you know, yeah. Sometimes the top of the ladder is 2,400 and sometimes the top of the ladder is 3,700, you know? You'll have Calvish at 2,400 at one point in the season or at one season, and then you'll have Calvish at 3,700 at a different season, you know? It really makes no sense. And that's what I was talking about, like in Shadowlands. Like Shadowlands Season 1, a ton of people got Gladiator. There were so many people queuing in Shadowlands Season 1. many people got Gladiator. And I feel like at that point, it's really hard. It makes no sense, really, that those players can't get it again, you know? Maybe Season 2 as well, but you know what I mean. It doesn't really make much sense that a lot of these players... Like, I feel like there's a bunch of players that feel like there's no point in queuing or even trying to push Glad at the beginning of the season because you're just not going to get it compared to just waiting until the end, you know? Which is just, it's a weird system. You know? It's a weird system where you're highly encouraged to just not play the game until the end of the season. So I don't know exactly what they can do, but I do think the system that we have now is not good and needs to be reiterated on. This guy says, yes, games feel quite sweaty, I think, because there's no new players anymore. And then this person said, we exist at least temporarily. I returned last season after 10 years away and leveled the priest to play holy. I progressed a decent amount and bounced between 1800 and 2k and solo, depending on how many resto druids I fight in a row. I was happy with my progress for a while, but over the last couple of weeks, I've noticed 1 or 2 glad mounts in every one of my lobbies. I've run into several rank ones too. A lot of the time, Taylor's is a M glad, and I check PvP them after going 2 or 4 and 1 and 5. With such knowledge-based game, it's impossible to compete in a lobby full of people who have been playing this game consistently for 20 years. It doesn't matter how many skill capped or YouTube videos I watch. The only way to get into the top is by playing a majority of classes extensively, which I and a lot of other players don't have time for. I decided to stop playing instead. My situation is unique based on people I've met in game either. There'll be an influx of new players unless Arena is entirely revamped. Yeah. Yep. So we'll see what they end up doing, if they end up doing anything. But I definitely think it could be a lot better. If someone wants to get good without playing a lot, that's the same in every game. Yeah. I don't really know. It could just be a numbers thing. Like, there's just too many. Yeah, we'll see. Sometimes people don't want to have to be so sweaty, though. They want to, like, you know what I mean? Sometimes people don't want to have to be so sweaty. I have a bunch of examples of this. I have, like, real-life examples. Even like, Jackie and I, the other day, we were playing Overwatch. We're playing Overwatch. We're not good. We don't care about being good. We just play for fun, you know? And that's fine. And so the two of us are queuing, duo queuing, and we fought a 4-stack pre-made 3 games in a row. And they just shit on us. They were obviously Smurfs. They literally completely shit on us. And I was just like, it kind of just like kills the whole fun of the game, you know? I had a real life experience with that too, where my sister's work, they were involved in like a softball beer league, where it's like, you basically, everyone, you know, you have a mixed skill, but no one really takes it serious. You don't even practice for it. Like, you just go, throw some balls, have fun. And the team we played against, they were the biggest tryhards ever. It was a co-ed mixed league. They had the minimum amount. Yeah, they had the minimum amount of girls on the team. They had a minimum amount of players on the team. They tried so hard. They just completely shit on us. We're just like, it was unbelievable. It's like a little for fun league that nobody takes seriously, and these guys were acting like it was the Olympics. And what's funny is there's actually leagues that they could play in, and it would be competitive, but instead they just want, it's like the IRL smurfing. Anyways, the point is, it's just, some people enjoy being super sweaty and improve. Some people just want to throw the ball around, you know? And it's like that in WoW too. As I've gotten older, I get different things from the games when I play. I'm very aware of my skill level in Arena, so I wish I could just play to a certain level to get the gear and call it a day. Now it's just so much harder. Granted, I'm older and slower, but still. Yeah. That's why I actually think WoW moving to more of like a battle pass system. I do think there should be end of season rewards. I think they're awesome. But I also think people should just be rewarded for playing, you know? That's why I think it'd be really cool if they added like a seasonal battle pass with different transmogs and mounts, and you kind of just play with the bracket you want and just play the game. Or maybe it would encourage you to play all the brackets, you know, like there's like an RBG portion of it, there's a 2s portion, a 3s portion. And every season you need to play them all. Devil's Advocate, people will complain they have to do too much stuff. You think so? Maybe it would be like, it would be a situation where it's like, I don't know. I haven't thought about this. Like, people that make these rewards, they sit in a room and discuss it for hours, you know, with multiple people. That's what they need to do. But yeah, I think there's a way to encourage the different game modes and PvP modes and stuff. And also probably there's a way that you could still get the rewards if you only do one thing. I don't know.